Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the WellMed Charitable Foundation Caregiver Teleconnection session. This morning, we have an amazing session, and it is called Making the Case for Using Music with Dementia Care. So I am going to ask Justin Russo, and thank you so much for being here with us and for your expertise, Justin, and ask you to talk a little bit about yourself and start your presentation.
Gladly. Well, good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. I'm presenting to you today from a snowy upstate New York. Little chilly here. Hope it's a little warmer where you are. Thank you, Evelyn, and to the team for welcoming me today. I'm very happy to be here. As it was mentioned, this is the growing case for music in dementia care. So for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to be talking a lot about music's therapeutic power and hopefully taking some questions from you about how to use it effectively to support older adults. Music, as we know from board certified music therapists, music we know has just such amazing therapeutic power. It can connect, it can boost cognition, and it could really support activities of daily living. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that today. I'm going to go over the science behind music in the brain and the special relationship that we all have with music. And then I'm going to bridge into some of the research around it. And then we'll talk about some practical steps that you can take if you're caring for a loved one, if you know someone who's caring for a loved one, so that you can support them using music too. And then at the end, we'll leave you with some helpful resources so that you could work with people if you wish. So hopefully by the end of today, you'll have a better understanding of the benefits of music engagement and, of course, music therapy for older adults. And hopefully you'll find some use for the resources and the practical tools that we'll be leaving you to use music effectively. So again, my name is Justin. I'm the Director of Programming for the Institute for Music and Neurologic Function. If you haven't heard of the Institute, we are in wonderful Mount Vernon, New York, which is just outside of New York City. And this is home to Music and Memory. If you haven't heard of the Institute, you might have heard of Music and Memory. This is a program that came into national awareness, I would say, around 2014. Because a movie was made about us called Alive Inside, the story of music and memory. And that won a Sundance Award in 2014. So that brought music and memory into the national spotlight. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that program. But the first thing I want to talk about is why do favorite songs from our formative years have such an impact on our brains? And what are some of the implications of that for people living with dementia? In other words, how is it that these favorite songs that we loved from our childhood can help us so many decades later when we're living with dementia? Now, this is a clip from the film Alive Inside that I mentioned, where we meet Henry, who's a music and memory participant, and a wonderful demonstration of how music can support someone's cognition, allowing them to have more access to themselves. Let's take a look.
I have one resident that barely opened her eyes. She didn't respond. As much as I tried, I knew her for 2 years. No matter what I tried, massage wouldn't work, nothing worked. So when we got introduced to the iPods and the family told me the things that she liked, it was amazing once we put the iPod on her. She started shaking her feet. She started moving her head. Her son was just amazed. Okay, can we stop? Because now I'm getting all I'm seeing her all over again.
We really want to learn what music someone's going to really recognize and enjoy.
One of the residents is a resident who likes gospel music. Church was all his life. And I think that we can start with him.
Henry, speak to me. I want to hear your voice.
Can you talk to me? So let me hear you. Tell me your full name.
Henry has dementia and he needs total assistance with all his activities of daily living.
Hi, Papa. Hi, Papa.
Huh?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm fine. Wait.
Who am I?
Huh?
Who am I? I'm your daughter.
Daughter?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Wait a minute. I got so many. I don't know. God,
You
no.
got so many?
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
granddaughters.
Well, that's what I mean. Now, this, I don't.
Okay, it's Cherry. How long has he been in the nursing home? Approximately 10 years. It affects me greatly because he was always, fun-loving, singing, every occasion he would come out with a song. I remember as a child, he used to walk us down the street, me and my brother, and he would stop and do singing in the rain. He would have us jumping and swinging around poles. He was, he was good. He was always into music, always loved singing, dancing.
You want your music now? Let's try your music, okay? And then you tell me if it's too loud or not, okay?
Music is inseparable from emotion. So it's not just a physiological stimulus. If it works at all, it will call the whole person, the many different parts of their brain and the memories and emotions which go with it.
I'm supposed to sing with this?
You can if you like. When I first met him, he was very isolated, and he used to always sit on the unit with his head like this. He didn't really talk to much people, and then when I introduced the music to him, this is his reaction ever since.
Henry waking up did something to all of us. Everyone in the room felt it.
The philosopher Kant once called music the quickening art, and Henry is being quickened, he's being brought to life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the music for 1 second, okay? Just to ask you a few questions. Okay?
How awake was he?
I'm gonna give it back to you.
Was he still lost in his dementia? Or had the music in some way changed that?
Henry,
Yeah.
do you like the iPod? Do you like the music you're hearing?
Yes.
Tell me about your music.
Well, I don't have one, I mean.
Ask yes or no questions. Do you like music?
Yeah, I'm crazy about music. You play beautiful music, beautiful sound. Beautiful.
Did you play music when you were did you like music when you were young?
Yes, I went to big dances and things.
What was your favorite music when you were young?
Well, I guess, well, Cab Calloway was my #1 band guy. I like it. They did the holy, the holly, the hilly, the holy, the milly, the holly.
Henry,
Yeah.
what was your favorite song?
Oh, I'll be home there for Christmas. Oh, you can count and plan on me with plenty of snow, mistletoe, present wrapped around your tree. Ow, Christmas Eve will carry me where that love light beam.
Henry,
Yeah,
what was the favorite part of your life? What was your favorite part of your life?
bro, my life. It was part of my life was riding a bicycle, grocery boy.
What did you like about riding a bicycle?
That's where I made my money.
So in some sense, Henry has reacquired his identity for a while through the power of music.
What does music do to you?
Give me the feeling of love. No man, figure right now the world need to come into music, singing. You got beautiful music here. Beautiful, oh, lovely. And I feel the band of love, dream. The Lord came to me, made me holy. I'm a holy man. So he gave me these sounds. I'll just say, I meet you. Let me see. Rosalie, won't you love me? Rosalie, won't you be sweet and kind?
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know about you, but I could listen to Henry talk about Cab Calloway all day long. What a special guy. And I've watched that movie, that clip maybe 1,000 times, and I get teared up still every time, just listening to his story and hear him come back. So what's happening here? Well, at the beginning of the video, Henry is almost nonverbal. He can't even remember his daughter Cherry when she comes to visit. But by the end, after listening to his favorites, now you don't see this, but he listens to the music for about 20 minutes. But after listening to the music, his cognition is completely boosted. You can see he's much more aware of himself and where he is. He's hearing the cues and the questions that are being given to him, and he's not only able to talk about what the music means to him now, but he's able to go deep into his own history and talk about his childhood all the way back to his younger years. He has that. So what's happening here is the music is triggering the memories which are attached to his brain. And when the memories are triggered, his cognition is boosted. So music is triggering the memories, and the memories are triggering his brain. And this is something that happens to all of us. And so before we go any further, I just want to ask the question, what songs bring you back? We all have songs from our teenage years specifically that bring us back to a point in time in our lives. Just to give you some inspiration, I'll share a story from my own life. So this is the Dutchess County Fair in Rhinebeck, New York, just north of the city. And now, in 1990, I was 15 years old. So I'm dating myself a little bit here when I'm telling you this story. But so in 1990, I was 15 years old, and I was allowed to go to the Dutchess County Fair for the first time. This is a big deal, right? I get to go at night with my friends to the fair. And I just remember walking in through the gates of the fairground with hordes of kids. There was just a flood of kids walking into the fair, and we could all hear the bells and the whistles from the games, and we could see the lights and the smells of the food. And we walked through this long corridor of games and rides, and right at the end is this Viking ship ride. Maybe you've seen it at county fairs with the Viking ship swinging back and forth. And up atop, above it all, was blaring the 90s rock song, Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. And if you play that song to me now, even I'm 50 years old now, if you play it to me now, some 35 years later, I'm right back at that fair, walking in, for the first time, feeling like an adult, feeling like my life was opening up. It's a beautiful memory, and it's one that I can return to any time as long as I listen to that song. And that's just a perfect example of what was given to Henry. What we do at Music and Memory specifically is we look for 15 songs from a person's formative years. And those, we're looking for the songs that trigger memories, just like the one that I shared with you. That's what was given to Henry. Now, why are the teenage years so important? Well, this has a lot to do with what's going on in our brain when we're teenagers. Now, when I say teenagers, I mean roughly ages 12 to 25. This is when neuroplasticity is really going, or rather our brains Neuroplasticity is the rate to which our brain can respond to external stimuli, right? So at that point, it's pretty high. Not as high as when we're infants, but it's still pretty high. So everything that we're listening to is really cementing itself in the brain. In addition, at this point in our lives, there's a lot of emotional memory being generated. A lot of the music that we're listening to and the emotions that we're feeling while we're listening to it are overlapping to form a different kind of memory. And this type of memory tends to persist. In addition, and just generally speaking, music targets every single part of the brain, and it cements itself there. So, and that's important for late stage dementia because when other types of memories fail, musical memories endure. Now, so what I'm saying is, even with someone with late stage dementia who has maybe even lost the ability to remember family members or to converse and to socialize, will respond to music triggering their memory and boosting their cognition. In other words, an outside source is initiating a sequence within the brain. In this case, it's music. And this has enormous implications for people living with dementia because we know that we can support them even within the last days of their own lives using their favorite songs. Now, this was a study done in the Times a while ago. The author was trying to figure out why we love music from our teenage years. So he looked at aggregate data from Spotify, the very popular streaming platform. And sure enough, the study showed that all of us predictably returned to the music that captured us during our adolescence. And you can see here the peak years. And this is very true for me. I'm still listening to my 90s music. I mean, I like other stuff, but when I'm all alone, eating crackers at 2 in the afternoon in the kitchen, I listen to what I want. And it's always the 90s. And that's because of all the emotional memory that's wrapped up with it. Now, again, this has amazing benefits for people living with dementia and other types of physical and cognitive limitations. So when you boost someone's cognition, it doesn't last forever. As Dr. Oliver Sacks says in the video, for a short time, Henry is being quickened. He's coming back to life. But during that window of time, you can support them. So it usually lasts about 45 minutes. But during that window of time, you can support various activities of daily living if you commit to offering the music proactively. We always say, offer the music consistently and proactively in advance of the activity you're trying to support. If you, for example, want to support someone's mood, if they have a tendency to go into sundowning, agitation at the end of the day, if you have it so that they are being played the music in advance of that, you can usually avoid the episode entirely. The same is true for transitioning between environments. Transitioning between environments, whether it's just going for a walk or going to a medical appointment, can be very stressful and sometimes overwhelming for people with dementia. But if you play their favorite songs that trigger memories and boost their cognition about a half hour before you go to take the trip, it usually is much better because they're able to understand where they are. They're able to understand the cues from their caregiver, and they're able to have that much more access to their selves, and can get through those situations. Now, this is just a few of the examples of the ADLs or activities of daily living that we teach staff when we teach music and memory certification training. Now, I talked a little bit about this, but this video really says it all. This video is an excellent showcasing of 5 therapeutic benefits that you can achieve just by playing someone their favorite songs. Now, again, all of the benefits that you're going to see here are because someone took the time to make a playlist of music of those about 15 of their favorite songs from their formative years. Just keep that in mind. They've already listened to their music or they're in the process of listening to it. Let's take a look.
So what separates using music as an intervention tool versus for entertainment or for relaxation is you can achieve specific outcomes. When you boost someone's cognition through music-triggered memories,
we can use music of personal importance to help not only stimulate areas of the brain that is still available and functional, but enhance the stimulation of those areas so the person is able to constantly recall and constantly connect.
Just seeing how music awakens these areas of the brain, how music can connect and bring people together is amazing.
Overall, it's a great non-pharmacological approach for any type of clinical care, but it also improves their quality of life with minimal invasiveness.
So one of the important things to remember is to always use the music consistently. A consistent application of the music will yield the best results.
If that person is engaged consistently using music that is meaningful to them, that is targeted in a specific way, that has a therapeutic intent, therapeutic purpose, that skills are improved and the person does change. If a person has sleep disturbances or agitation or wandering, we know that personalized music and music that allows that person to feel comforted and safe actually allows them to sleep and have less instances of agitation.
A lot of times if you put some soothing music on, it just helps them to transition into going into sleep, you know, getting ready for bed, and it changes them, their moods.
So if you're doing this for the first time, it's important to remember to use the music proactively in advance of any activity you're trying to support. For example, if you're trying to support someone's nutrition, if you're trying to help them maintain a healthy weight, what you can do is play the music about 30 minutes before mealtimes. And what that will do is it will boost their cognition, and that allows them to chew, to recognize food, in some cases even swallow.
Not only are they aware that it's mealtime, but if a CNA needs to assist them in eating, that they're able to engage in that. In fact, we've seen from nutrition studies that the person actually eats more and does better.
And again, all this comes from triggering the brain in advance of the activity you're trying to support.
When music is used consistently and purposefully, that we can impact the ease at which a CNA can care for somebody, so the person is more relaxed. There's a connection that's made, and that CNA is not a threat to the individual. They're actually a partner and a friend.
Seeing how music can change the mood of a room, seeing how excited they are to be with me musically is more than I could ask for.
You did it. Yeah, you did it. You're always singing. That's just a beautiful thing. Oh, Jane.
What a gorgeous day. It makes me want to sing.
Really?
Oh, what a beautiful morning. You have such a beautiful voice. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so good. More better. Thank you.
Music reduces anxiety, it improves the cognition and the ability for somebody to do something that they might have forgotten, their mind might have forgotten how to do so. And being able to provide them with music that stimulates their memory and brings them calm and brings them ease. It really helps them to feel that comfort in what could be a very gray and dark day for them and brings them light.
If you're a caregiver at home, think of music as a tool that you can use anytime to support your loved one's quality of life, creating moments of relaxation not just for your loved one, but for caregivers too. Music is a wonderful respite tool.
We encourage caregivers to find ways of using personalized music in those moments where they really need to have peace for themselves.
It's a great opportunity for you to get things done because they'll be engaged, they'll be enjoying the music, and they'll be better able to recognize cues from you and the care that you're giving them.
When we put music on, everybody comes alive. People start dancing. It just brings such joy to everybody.
Music is just universal. Even if you don't speak the language of the music, it moves you.
It puts me in the mood. It makes you feel good in your soul.
You see people join together and how that really shapes a community so that people trust each other and they can continue to build this relationship for many years to come.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. So again, that was 5 therapeutic benefits that you can achieve using music. And this is something that we teach staff and volunteers to do every day at Music and Memory. We also talk a lot about tracking impact. You know, once you achieve goals, we also try to make sure it gets into the care plan. I'm putting on my advocacy hat here for a second. You know, we really do think that this should be in the care plan. It should be considered, music should be considered a part of care, universally speaking. And so we always try to track the impact and make sure it gets into the care plan record. This is also very helpful in the aggregate for healthcare sites to understand how music can run right alongside traditional medical approaches to providing care. They can work hand in hand, and looking at the data helps them to see how music can really be a companion to traditional care. And it has a lot of benefits for caregivers too. You know, I've talked a lot about the benefits for the participants, but this is about connecting with other people. That's really the beauty of music, is it's about connection, whether you're singing or playing songs. You're getting something too in that process. So if you're a family caregiver here today and this is something you're interested in, you're going to benefit from this too. And staff feel it every day when they offer music. It tends to increase their satisfaction. It reduces overall exhaustion at the job. Their job is very hard, but this tends to make it easier. This is a tool that staff have in their back pocket that generally gives them a renewed sense of purpose and a lot more job satisfaction. Importantly, for family caregivers, it gives you a break, a much-needed break. And we know that family caregivers out there need a break pretty much more than anything else. I know this from personal and professional experience. And that's something that music can be for you. It can give you the respite that you need to take care of yourself. And let's you know, that's 101 for being a primary caregiver, right? Take care of yourself. You're no good to anybody if you don't first take care of yourself. And spending time is really part of the gift. You know, we always say that this is the gift that gives twice. You're not just giving them back their memories and helping to boost their cognition and supporting their daily living, but you've taken the time to get to know them, to get to know their humanity, to get to know what makes them really who they are. And that's what our history of songs do. You know, the more I tell you about the music that I love, the more you're going to know what makes me, me. Now this video, this is the last video I'm going to show you. This is our video for Music and Memory at Home. It shows family caregivers and their view on music and how it can support their loved ones. Let's take a look.
Personalized music is a profound gift for families at home with their relative with Alzheimer's or dementia. To see their relative come to life. There is a reawakening.
The music program has been a great thing for me and for James. Like a glow, a happiness.
It's a tool to create joy. It's something that both of you can engage in and create a safe and secure moment in time.
Music and memory. It's afforded me a luxury, helping me with my wife. She puts the headphones on, she's more mellow, she's sitting down, she's humming with the songs. It's emotional.
Music and memory at home is a valuable tool for caregivers that will enable you to stay at home and function as independently as possible.
Oh, you were hungry.
Fostering independence is the most important part for these families. Not only do I feel fortunate that we have become certified in music and memory and to be able to do it in the center, but be able to offer this experience to caregivers trying to keep an individual in their home rather than placing them in a facility.
You want to take your coat off?
Yeah.
We want them to have the best quality of life that they can.
He's more contented and, like I said, more calm. He'll start a conversation.
Oh, yeah, we got here.
He's more aware of his environment.
Most people would prefer to remain in their own home, in a familiar environment, with things that they know and love around them.
It could be something as simple as a picture on a wall.
Wow, I'm surprised with all these things.
Music and memory is wonderful medicine. Medicine without a pill. In the brain, music can bypass so many different things.
Here, Tom.
The brain is able to follow commands.
Got it?
Yeah.
The body is able to do things that normally with dementia they wouldn't be able to do.
Come on, let's go.
What?
Let's go. We're going this way.
Any caregiver out there who needs a little bit extra help in any way, it's a great tool. The music helps him a lot in public to help calm him down. Sometimes walking is a little funky, but even his walking was great.
Music and memory makes it a lot easier for the caregiver at home with eating, dressing, sleeping, showering.
We're going to go in the kitchen, okay? Yep, good.
The music is awesome.
Okay, Tata.
I could put him at the table with the earphones on. Music will keep him more engaged, and I can go do stuff around the house.
Families who use the music and memory program are able to get a little break, which gives them more time to attend to their own needs.
Have a seat. With music and memory, I can be more relaxed. I'm just going to clean up some things here, okay? I can do chores around the house and not have to worry about her. She can even sit with me and listen to the music while she's got the headphones on.
What's the song?
To love.
Mm-hmm. Will you still love me tomorrow?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Will you still love me tomorrow? Shooby-doo, shooby-doo. Before music, it was difficult to leave James alone. You okay? You comfortable?
Yeah, I'm okay.
But now I know he's okay because he's enjoying the music, right?
Personalized music connects us to that essential sense of our being.
With the music, I think it gives him a self-being that he's contributing to himself. He has more humor now.
What happened? What'd I do?
You feel like he's a person.
The music is really helping her and me and just having a decent relationship.
You are my husband.
Yes, I am your husband.
All right, Elvis.
She took care of me for close to 40 years. Now it's my turn.
Music makes him really more Walter. I mean, Walter emerges when the music goes on. It's made a difference in my life, in his life, in our life.
All right. I love that last quote from Walter's daughter. She says Walter emerges when the music comes on. I think that that's very relevant to the topic, right? I mean, Walter's very much responding to his favorite songs, and he's coming alive. He's able to converse and to socialize, and for that period of time, just have that much more access to himself. And that's a beautiful gift to give to someone, and it gives caregivers a break too. Now you see they're all using mobile players. We advocate for small mobile MP3 players or anything that's mobile, be it a phone or something that can be clipped onto the shirt or on the back of a wheelchair, because we want them to have the music anytime they need it, whether they're taking a walk or going to a medical appointment or just hanging around. Having anytime access to the music is important. And there's a lot of research around why this works. There's a lot of research on the power of personalized music, and there's also studies done on music and memory, specifically like this one. This study was done in 2020, and it was on over 4,100 residents out of California. And look at these amazing declines. 17% decline in medication. That's amazing, right? Reported chronic pain, down 17%. Depression, down 16%. Distressed behaviors, down 20%. That's huge. And this is per quarter for people with dementia. And importantly, the authors go on to recommend music and memory as a means to achieve these goals. So music and memory is one of the better examples of a scalable model of music therapy. There are only 11,000 board-certified music therapists in the United States, and millions of people living in residential care with dementia, and millions more aging in place at home. So there's a great need that goes beyond the amount of MTs that we actually have, which is why music and memory is so popular. We've certified over 5,800 healthcare sites over the last 15 years. We're in every state, and believe it or not, 29 states have made music and memory part of policy, which means they either highly recommend it or in some case they mandate it for nursing home care. Now, how can you be a part of this change? How can you be a part of this more widespread adoption of the use of music engagement to support older adults? We know why it works, we know how it works, but we know there's also resistance to it. Now the resistance is quite natural. You know, we understand that budgets are what they are, and non-profit nursing homes, for example, who have very small budgets, can't afford even music and memory training, which is very cheap, or music devices, which are super cheap. I've met activities directors who have $20 for a month of activities for a memory care wing of some 35 people. So what are you going to do with $20, right? Other than turn on the radio. So it can be very tough, but we really need to double down on this, because music engagement is not only valuable in helping people who already have dementia, but it's also valuable in preventing it and can cut the risk of dementia onset significantly, as we can see in studies that are emerging now. So even if you're not just beginning the aging process and not yet even having any kind of even mild cognitive impairment, you can still benefit from music. As we always say, it's never too early to start thinking about your own personalized music playlist. I know I've got mine, and I hope by now you're thinking about some of the songs that you want to take with you, right, on the ride, and some of the songs that are meaningful to you. If you haven't done this yet, it's a wonderful way to spend time with someone. And if you're interested in person-centered care, person-directed care, I believe there's really no better way to offer that than to sit down with someone and talk about what music they love the most. I do also want to point out that there's finally studies now showing that there's a quantitative return on investment for music engagement and music therapy. This study, for example, which came out just this June from the NeuroArts Blueprint Initiative out of Australia, connected to Renee Fleming, the renowned singer, showing that for every dollar spent on music engagement and music therapy, there's an ROI, return on investment, of $2.40. So that's pretty good, I think, because, you know, this, for the most part, not being reimbursable is a lot of the reason why it's not widely adopted. The study also pointed out how there are a lot of downstream economic benefits to music therapy and music engagement at organizations, because it generally leads to fewer hospital visits, a lower healthcare costs per person and in the aggregate and total healthcare costs, fewer emergency room visits and things like that, fewer falls, fewer altercations, and those all have an associated cost. And there's actually codes for all of that. And so we've learned over the years to look at those codes and see how music has a positive effect on those different codes. It's pretty amazing. Now, for anybody who's interested in doing this, we have a wonderful free guide on our website that you can access right now. Just go to musicandmemory.org/playlist and get to work. You can use any device you want, but again, we recommend a mobile device. And if the person is willing to wear headphones, then a nice set of headphones will create a wonderful immersive environment for them to listen to their favorite songs. So again, if you do want to do this, a playlist of 15 to 20 songs that trigger memories, focus on quality over quantity. Don't go for any of the filler songs, just the ones that light somebody up and really trigger a memory, and play them about 30 minutes in advance of the activity you're trying to support. If you do that, you'll see great results, and the process will be rewarding for you both. With that, I'll end my presentation. And again, I just want to say thank you for having me today, and I hope this resonated with you. Thanks very much.
Well, Justin, well, made me cry too.
Me too.
So beautiful. Okay, folks, it's your turn. We have an expert here, and he would love to hear your questions, your comments. Minerva's, one of her big ones is Stand By Me. That was a great song.
The classic.
Yeah, it's very much a classic. Larry said, Justin and our WellMed team, thank you so much for the session. What wonderful and uplifting presentation. Can't beat that.
Nope.
I think, come on, folks, anything else?
A question.
Please.
Does it make a difference between having headsets on them or just having the music play in the background without a headset? Does it make a difference to them that you've seen?
I think that's a great question, and thank you for raising it. So the question is, are headphones better? Will that maximize the impact of listening to music and supporting someone's cognition? And I think the answer is yes, it would. But don't let that limit you. It is often the case that someone will go into distress if you put headphones on them. The wires may bother them, or it may be too tight, or they just might get ear fatigue from the headphones if you're using a heavier set. If that's the case, it is perfectly fine to use a Bluetooth speaker or even a radio, provided you limit distractions in the room around them. Distractions will detract from the experience. So, in a nursing home or an assisted living organization, it's very difficult to find a quiet space. But we always say try if you can to find a quiet space. And then if there is no quiet space, to face them away from the source of the ambient noise that may be a distraction when you're playing the music through a speaker. But again, to answer your question, yes, I think that immersive quality of listening to headphones will maximize the results. Let's remember that you're basically repeating, you're recreating the environment in which they first heard the music, right? So that's that original studio recording. So you want to get every nuance of the fidelity of the music, and headphones are really best for that. But again, don't let that limit you. If all you have is a speaker or a radio or a home stereo, that will work just fine as long as you limit distractions. Thank you for that great question.
Justin, we have another question from Debbie. Is there a study that supports the statement that listening to music after 70 may cut dementia risk by nearly 40%? I love this.
Actually, yes. I pulled that off the internet recently. Someone sent that to me over LinkedIn, a fellow professional, and we posted it on Music and Memory's Facebook page. So go ahead and grab it and click on the link. Just go to Facebook/Music and Memory. I think that's how you find it. And you should see this study pop right up on our Facebook page. It's definitely making the rounds. I know a lot of news sites were covering it. So you should also be able to Google that information, just as you summarized it for me, and you'll see several news outlets pointing to the same study.
How much does it cost to have your team come out and train staff to do this?
It's very affordable. Generally, per staff, it's about $100. This includes a 2-hour training, all of the resources that I described, the music assessment questionnaires, the resources for helping them find the right music, the impact forms, all the documentation in our implementation guide. And it also comes with a year of clinical support from the Institute for Music and Neurologic Function. So we try to support organizations after the fact. And that year of support, I think, is really part of the value, because usually people have a lot of questions once they really get hands-on with the music and the equipment. But if it's a month after the training, we want to make sure they have somewhere they can go to ask questions. So we often find ourselves meeting with whole teams a month or two after the training again. So it's, I would say, a pretty economical choice, music and memory. Again, it's about $100 a person. The more they train, that price goes down. I think if you train 15 people, it goes down to about $50 a person. So that's a pretty good value. For anyone who's interested, music and memory is an organizational training. We train organizations on this process. If you're interested in getting trained yourself, up on the screen you'll see imnf.org. The Institute has a wonderful course that I believe is only $200, and it's a 6-hour on-demand course that teaches you not only music and memories tool, but also other techniques borrowed from music therapy, such as how to support someone with aphasia or other speech issues, or helping someone with mobility issues, such as if they're recovering from a stroke or living with Parkinson's. So if you're interested in becoming, and also how to start programming at an organization for music engagement. So it's an amazing course. And that also comes with a year of clinical support from the Institute. The difference, again, between the two is that one is for individuals and one is for organizations. So if you'd like some training, we're happy to work with you. And we work with practitioners of all kinds and family caregivers as well. No prerequisite information no prerequisite skills are required for the trainings. I hope that's helpful.
How do you get folks who are well into dementia to identify the songs that mean something to them?
Great question. So we work with people right up to hospice care, to the end of life. And it is often the case that you have to rely on family members to get the information you need. This is part of that musical favorites mystery that that is part of the process. If you're working with someone who can't respond or is nonverbal, you have to really look at their own life and who's in their life to find that information. So family members are very helpful. But of course, it's logical that someone's son or daughter was not around when their parent was a teenager. So you also, we teach a number of different tricks that you can use. One of them being, get their date of birth, which is sometimes all you know, and find out when they are 15 years old. So if they were born in 35, then look at the top Billboard hits from 1950. If they were born in 1940, look at the top Billboard hits for 1955, and so on, and use that as a starting point. It'll take you a little longer, but that's why we say if you can work with family members first and try and find out even a genre, because it's often the case that children and grandchildren will know, oh, grandma loved country, or she loved Elvis. We know that. It's part of family lore, usually. So if you can get that, you can usually narrow it down further. But that's all part of being a music detective, and let's face it, showing love to that person.
Nice. Patricia wants to know if there's CEU training or CEUs available for the trainings that you just talked about.
There are, for the music and memory training, there is CEU, 2 CEU credits, because it's a 2-hour training. And for the one offered by the Institute, which is 6 hours, I believe it's 10 credits. 10 for NCTRC, 10 for NAB, 10 for CBMT, which is music therapists, and New York State offers one for creative arts therapists as well. So 10 credits.
Great. And I said your name wrong before.
Michael's unmuted.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Hey, I just wanted to say how wonderful it is to be here with you folks. This is my first time on the internet. My wife is not very far along yet, but I know it's coming. So I'm going to have to do more of this. Thank you.
You're very welcome. This is a perfect opportunity to support your wife since she's early in the process, because the two of you will have a better chance of going through it together, and looking at the songs that really resonate with her. I'm sure you'll find that you know a lot of the favorites already, but you'll probably be surprised here and there. And they're nice surprises to learn together what she's loved over the course of her life. So good luck with the process. And of course, feel free to reach out to us at info@musicandmemory.org if you have any questions at all. We're here to help you.
Thank you. We're both musicians, and that's going to help a great deal. Lifetime musicians. And I also have the coursework for music therapy when I was taking my doctorate. So I have a kind of a background of what I've even published in your journal. So I'm there. I just need help. I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome. Well, I hope this is the little push you need to do it. What instrument does she play?
She's a pianist and was my accompanist many years ago.
Can she still respond to sheet music?
No, we don't have a piano anymore. It just didn't fit the lifestyle toward the end.
Sure.
So,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I mean, we're even back to nursery songs. Good night. It's what we taught our children and all of those. We've got a full repertoire all the way up to Gustav Mahler, wherever you'd like to be.
Well, that's quite right. That's par for the course, if you will. You know, when we talk a lot at the Institute about the therapeutic power of singing with others, and that's different from music and memory's process of using recorded music. But singing has tremendous value too, and it's often the nursery rhymes and the very young songs that persist the longest. So I think it makes a lot of sense that those songs are resonating at this point, and always use them as long as they work. So good for you. It sounds like you're doing a lot of good stuff already.
I'm trying. Okay, thank you.
And Michael, you may want to get on our podcast site because there's an awful lot of other stuff on there too that if this is your first time with us, that stuff can help you. I'm going to give you the number to call I don't know where you got this, the Zoom. If you're Zooming in, if you're phoning in, then you need to get registered, and you can do that by calling 866-390.
866, yes?
390.
390.
6491. And we'd love to have you join us all the time.
Terrific. Thank you. I will be calling.
Okay.
Thanks.
I've got two more things here for you in the chat room. My mother lives in her own home with no internet and no smartphone. A small portable player preloaded with her favorite tunes is a great idea.
Certainly, yeah. I know it can be sometimes difficult to procure and set up devices like that. You have to buy the MP3 player, and you have to buy the headphones, and then you have to buy the songs, usually in MP3 form, and then download them to the device and keep it charged and all that. It's work. And the provision of the equipment is sometimes the biggest hurdle, even for the best equipped organizations that we work with. So I get that can be a bit of a challenge, but the rewards are definitely there. In the meantime, you can always turn on their favorite radio station and just sit together and listen to it. And when a memory is triggered, you can go through the same process.
Lovely. Any more questions for Justin? And we got a few minutes left. Oh, one new one. Let's see here. No, that's Minerva telling everybody how to get on our podcast at www.caregiverteleconnection.org or on YouTube. And if you need any assistance at all, you can always call the wonderful Minerva at that number I gave you. And I'm going to give it to everybody again, 866-390-6491. And the great thing about getting registered is that you'll not only get the resources, and I know, Justin, are you willing to share your whole PowerPoint, or you just want to share the resources?
I'm happy to share the PowerPoint and the resources. Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, so we'll be sending those out to everybody who's registered, so be sure and get registered. And the great thing about being registered is you'll also get the monthly calendar, which shows you what we've planned, and that you can register for. And a lot of times people have very specific things that they want to hear about, such as, say, Lewy body dementia, or how to deal with unwanted behaviors. They're very specific, and they're all done by experts on the topic. So it's a very valuable resource for folks. And we hope that you will take advantage of it. And I would like to thank you so much, Justin. You've done such a beautiful job. Boy,
Thank you.
this is one of the more emotional ones I've been in, I can tell you. And we have some upcoming sessions that you will get when you get the monthly calendar. You'll get the invitations to those. And I just want to thank everybody who's on the line, because when you're a caregiver for someone with dementia, you're a really special person. And you're giving a big gift, by the way. So thank you for participating. And I'd also like to thank the Willamette Charitable Foundation for all the work they do to make these presentations happen, and to find people like Justin, and his great set of information to join us. And we have people clapping and sending hearts, and so we know it was a really good job. And with that, I want to thank you all. And I am going to stop the recording. You'll hear a little announcement again. And we hope to see you all next week.